Preseason, the biggest thing is we felt like we got everything installed schematically, situationally that we needed to and wanted to, and we came out of it, relatively healthy. Obviously, over the course of 3 weeks, you're trying to build up a little bit of a callus, and you're gonna have some bumps and some bruises and some things that you got to treat. But for the most part, we're healthy. We're in a good place from an install standpoint. We definitely named our captains a little bit later in the process than we had in years past. I think we just felt like we wanted to give those guys more of an opportunity to establish themselves, establish their voice, for those guys to operate this program the way that I want it to be operated, the way that we want it to be operated, and to really set and maintain that standard. Malik Wiggins has been a 3-year starter in our secondary at the cornerback position. He's been a tremendous worker and a tremendous teammate since he's been here. He's got a really great voice in that locker room, and it holds a lot of weight. He's not a guy that does it for attention or does it just to be a rah-rah guy. When he speaks, people respect him and look him in the eyes and know that he has the team and the individual's best interest in heart. Andrew Jamil, has done everything we could have ever asked a football player to do on the field. Andrew's not the most vocal guy in a team setting. Don't get me wrong. Like, he'll step up and say something when he feels like it needs to be said. He does a great job individually. He pulls guys aside. He has a ton of one-on-ones. So there's a really great balance between him and Malik, will definitely be more aggressive in addressing the group. Andrew has done a great job in terms of, setting a standard of excellence from performance and training, and and then also establishing one-on-one relationships with his teammates and knowing that he's someone that they can come and approach. The PSAC is a great conference. Obviously, for us, having a history of Bloomsburg, and the PSAC East has some of the toughest football programs, in Super Region 1. So, we want to challenge ourselves as a program, and we also want to see where we are. I think they're a great litmus test. I know in the 6 years that we played them, it's a great way to see what type of shape you are coming out of camp, how tough you are coming out of camp, because they're gonna challenge you in both those ways. I know that they're maybe not preseason picked as high as they've been in the past, but they still have a stable of really talented running backs. They're still Bloomsburg University. They are known for having great offensive line play, being able to run the football. They just play tough, blue-collar, hard-nosed football. So, in a great league. So they're challenged week in and week out, very similar to how, we are going to be in the NE10. So, I think, it's interesting to go down there after taking a year off. We played them for 6 years in a row, so they're a unfamiliar opponent. Who they are and what they've done is still very similar. There's some new personnel, some guys that, after a year away, they have some new faces and some familiar ones, but at their core, they're still the same talented, tough program that they've been. So we know that we're gonna have our hands full going down there. I think the biggest thing for us is, we need to come out of the gates and start fast. I think sometimes you worry with that first game, how well is our execution gonna be? Obviously, we've put a lot of work into the details and making sure that we control the things that we can control. I want to be able to get out of the gates and execute in all 3 phases. I don't think there'll be the nerves there with this team. I think they're excited to play, and I think that's a good thing. I know the energy will be good. I think it's just making sure that we're paying attention to the finer details, and we're staying within ourselves, especially early on in the game, so we can build momentum and build rhythm and flow. Obviously, there's a couple of new faces for us that'll be getting snaps for the first time that we'll be excited to see them really trial by fire. And the biggest thing for us is we have to win the matchups that we need to win. So we need to be able to take on a block or to land a block, right? We need to be able to get off a block or maintain one. We got to be able to break a tackle or make a tackle. At the end of the day, that's what football is about, and Bloomsburg does a really good job of challenging you in those fundamental areas of football. So I feel like we've done enough, and we'll continue to work and harp on those fundamentals, and that's what's going to show up on Saturday.